What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Booba Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified British heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua will be taking on current unified Mexican heavyweight superstar boxer Ruiz Jr. this upcoming Saturday, as we know, in the highly anticipated rematch of their June 1st showdown in Madison Square Garden. Anthony Joshua and Ruiz held their media workouts today, in which Anthony Joshua also did interviews to build up and promote the fight, right? With that said, Anthony Joshua stated that he believes, win, lose, or draw, he'll have a trilogy match with Andy Ruiz Jr. because he needs a tiebreaker. He has to prove to himself that he's just a better fighter. Just this one fight is not going to do it. He wants to have a trilogy match. He said, anyway, all of us need to meet and do business. All of the big boys in the heavyweight division, all of the heavy hitters, right? So he stated that, for me, win, lose, or draw, me and Andy Ruiz, this is not the last time we're going to see each other. We're going to see each other once again in a trilogy somewhere down the line. I must see him again. So Anthony Joshua, this lets me know that Anthony Joshua, the loss doesn't sit right. And that's a great mindset to have as a competitor. You don't want to lose, right? You don't want to take an L to nobody. So Anthony Joshua is not happy with the way things played out in the first fight, and he's made abundantly a lot of changes in build-up to this fight. You can see in his physique that he's obviously slimmer, dramatically slimmer than he was previously, and he chalked that up to the fact that he hadn't taken a loss and hadn't had such a long layoff. He said that usually when he has layoffs, he pretty much is relaxed in between fights because, the next fight is already on the horizon. With this fight, it's been 6 months, and all he has been done because of the loss is be in the gym. He said usually he'll be in the weight room. He'll find other methods, to stay active. But this time around, he's been in the gym. So it wasn't like as if he was purposely targeting losing weight. He said that he just been staying in the gym due to the fact that he lost, and this is how he dealt with it. So that's a great mindset to have as a competitor, right? He's definitely slimmed down. He says that he brought in a new trainer. He obviously brought in Vladimir Klitschko as a consultant and an advisor, right? He also brought in another trainer. He said, but he didn't want to replace Rob McCracken because who and how Rob McCracken is to him. With that said, when he says win, lose, or draw, that's concerning, right? Because that lets me know that mentally he feels like he could lose to Andy Ruiz again. He's not 100% confident that he could beat Andy Ruiz. And so that's why he's saying a trilogy fight, right? Because it's not who, it's how, right? I mean, it's not how he lost, it's who he lost to. You understand? That's why he stated that if he would have lost to Deontay Wilder, he would have accepted it much better than losing to Andy Ruiz. And this is what, like I told you guys, right? Because he looks at Andy Ruiz's approach. He looks at Andy Ruiz's physique. He's looking at Andy Ruiz, not aesthetic. He's short. He can't understand why. So that's the reason why he's mentioning trilogies, right? So a part of him mentally is already distracted, just like it was in the first fight. The only difference is, like he stated, he was distracted with looking at past Andy Ruiz to Deontay Wilder until Tyson Fury, right? But now this lets me know that he's not looking past Ruiz, but he's looking at Ruiz, and he's not sure and not confident that he could beat Ruiz. So he's already scheduling in his mind a trilogy fight. Win, lose, or draw, he said. There's no rematch clause. If that was the mindset, there would be a rematch clause. There's no rematch clause, right? So he says somewhere down the line. He says that he studied Andy Ruiz to understand the fighter that Andy Ruiz is and Andy Ruiz's footwork. If he stepped to the left, why he's stepping. So he said this time around, he's watched a lot of boxing. He's always watched a lot of boxing. But this go around, he's been studying Andy Ruiz. He said, and another contradiction that Anthony Joshua says, he says his mind has been on Andy Ruiz 5 weeks going into the first fight. So the reporter asked him, this training camp, you had a lot of distractions. Your mind was everywhere. It was on Wilder, it was on Fury. Jarrell Miller pulled out. He said, no, there's no excuses. My mind was on Andrew Ruiz 5 weeks before the first fight. So that means that you was focused on Andrew Ruiz. But still, in return, Anthony Joshua said he wasn't focused on Andrew Ruiz. He was looking past Andrew Ruiz. That's the reason why he lost. So this is all concerning that the fact that, he has these conflicting reports and responses as to why he lost the fight with Andrew Ruiz. And to say that he wants a trilogy means that Andrew Ruiz is in his head. He's already thinking of a trilogy match because he can't fathom the fact that he lost the first time to a guy that's 6 feet tall, is not aesthetic, and don't look the part, right? So, I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. I can't wait to see how he responds mentally. Everybody that I'm watching these interviews and everybody that's talking about it are concerned with how he's going to respond mentally. And with that said, that's the biggest thing. Is mentally Anthony Joshua going to pack it in at the first sign of adversity and trouble? Why? Not because, he's not a tough guy. Not because, he don't have the heart. No. What I mean by that is, it's frustrating Anthony Joshua. Right? Frustration can make you pack it in. Roberto Duran wasn't getting beat up, battered, and bruised by Sugar Ray Leonard the second fight. He was getting frustrated as to why he said no mas. He quit. Right? Not because he was taking a lot of punishment in the fight. This is what I said, but you get a lot of people that don't understand where I'm coming from because they're casual fans. So when I say that Anthony Joshua at the first sign of trouble is going to pack it in, they think that I'm saying that he has no heart. That's the furthest thing from what I'm talking about. It's frustration. When Anthony Joshua looks at Andrew Ruiz Jr., he's frustrated. He's saying to himself, there's no way I should have lost to this guy the first time, and there's no way he should have success against me the second time. You understand? So at the first sign of success that Andy Ruiz is having, Anthony Joshua is mentally going to pack it in. Why? Because he does not understand physically why he's having trouble with a guy like Andrew Ruiz. So mentally, he checks out. It's frustrating, right? If you're playing a game, a card game or something with a 10-year-old kid and you're a grown man and you're good at the card game and this 10-year-old kid keeps beating you, it's not that he's beating you, it's that you're frustrated because this 10-year-old kid should not be having success with you in a card game that you excel at. This is the situation with Anthony Joshua. He don't look at Andrew Ruiz and feel like he should be having success against him because physically, his approach and aesthetically, Andy Ruiz doesn't look the part. So mentally, Anthony Joshua is going to get frustrated and check out at the first couple of signs of adversity and trouble because he's going to say, here we go again. And why is this the issue? He does not know how to fix the issue. That's what the flags are saying to me. That's what his interviews and his mindset is saying to me. He truly does not know how to fix the issue. And this is why he truly wants to knock Andy Ruiz out in this rematch. So he's going to go for the knockout because Anthony Joshua feels like there's no way this guy should have been sticking around me to begin with. So he wants to make a statement with Andy Ruiz. And that could be a problem because Andy Ruiz is going to trade with Anthony Joshua. You understand? So that's another thing that's going to set in, adversity is going to set in, is he doesn't understand the IQ of Andy Ruiz Jr. When Anthony Joshua lets his punches go, Andy Ruiz is not in fear of his power. Andy Ruiz is going to punch with him. He's going to trade with him. He's going to counter him. Thus, the reason why Anthony Joshua has the issues. So now he's saying that he's going to make it a boring fight. So it seems like he's going to take the advice that people are giving him. And what I said was the game plan to beat Andy Ruiz for Anthony Joshua is the jab, jab, hold. Jab, jab, when the straight right presents itself, you take it. And if it gets too close inside, you tie him up, you hold him, you wait for the referee to break him. When he breaks you, you don't trade with him. You take a step back because Andy Ruiz is going to let his hands go. That's still in his range. You don't let him be in his range. The only time you let him in his range, is when you're tying him up, point blank and period. You don't allow him to let his hands go in his range because he's going to beat you to the punch because he's the quicker, faster athlete. And Anthony Joshua said that he's always been super quick himself, right? So that means that he's saying, I'm quicker than Andrew Ruiz Jr. I don't know why he was having success, and I don't know why people keep talking about his speed. That's concerning. You're not quicker than Andrew Ruiz Jr. You're not. Point blank and period. Doesn't matter how you look in the mirror, how you look on the scale, and how he looks in the mirror, and how he looks on the scale. Your hand speed is just not quicker than his. Point blank and period. I don't care what meets the eye. The truth of the matter is, Andrew Ruiz has a higher ring IQ and he has faster hands. He's physically more athletic than Anthony Joshua. He just doesn't look it. So with that said, Anthony Joshua doesn't truly understand it. So the key to victory is he said he's going to make it a boring fight. So like I said, jab, jab, hold. When the right hand presents itself, you take it. So this is what he has to do. But mentally, he wants to make a statement. He wants to knock Andrew Ruiz Jr. out because he don't feel like he belongs in the ring with him. And that could ultimately be his downfall. So I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace. And another thing is, right, why Anthony Joshua wants to knock him out because he don't believe he belongs in the ring with him. That's why he's mentioned in the trilogy match, because doing it once is not enough. He wants to do it again to prove his point. But that's all I got for y'all. Peace.